are we doing, men? Coach James. Let's cover how to train smart over the age of 40. Where a lot of men will go wrong is they don't have a plan. Okay, so a lot of guys over 40 will join a new gym, walk into the gym, zero plan for what they're doing. There's loads of equipment there, gym is massive. They walk in, do a little bit of cross trainer, maybe do some sit-ups, some push-ups, or even a bench press, some bicep curls, and they are in there for maybe 30 to 40 minutes, maybe even longer, and then don't actually do that much. They're not achieving anything when they go to the gym because they have no structured, balanced plan. Simple as that. And what you've got to ask yourself, if you want to train smart and effectively in a time efficient way, is how much time do I have available per week? So how many sessions do I realistically see myself doing over the course of a week? And it should be something like this. If you're telling yourself I can only get to the gym once a week, it's pointless. Trust me, absolutely pointless. Okay, maybe there's tiny little benefit, but not for me. I would prefer someone to be closer to the 3 to 4 times per week to really yield the maximum benefit from going to the gym in terms of lifting weights and adding in that cardio part, let's say. So the first question you've got to ask yourself, how many times per week and what days am I actually going to go to the gym? Now it always amazes me, the guys who are super organised, calendars full, it's all blocked out, and you ask them, okay, how many times are you going to go to the gym, and what days are you going to go, and what time are you going to go? Maybe Monday will I get Monday? What time are you going Monday? Might make it at 6. Will I make it? No. Guys, it's like anything. Unless you've planned it in, penciled it in, scheduled it in, you've got no chance, pretty much slim to none, that is actually going to happen. Simple as that. You should know exactly what days you're going to the gym, what time you're going to show up at the gym, and how much time do you have available for each session. Now this may wiggle a little bit, but the minimum time, guys, you should be giving yourself at the gym is 30 minutes, but you can still get an amazing session in the gym when it's full body and when you have a structured, balanced plan. 60 minutes is the perfect scenario for me in terms of warm-up, in terms of your exercises, your supersets in there, your cardio at the end, time to get your shower, 60 minutes at the gym for me is the ideal time for most people. But you can get a lot done within 30 to 60 minutes if you have a structured and balanced plan and it's full body. On the full body part, you're not a bodybuilder anymore. Get that out your head. The days when you went to the gym and you trained chest and biceps or chest and triceps, went in the next day, done some legs, some sit-ups, some cardio, on the cross training for an hour, you've already lifted weights for an hour. That's not how you train in your 40s, guys. You don't have time for that. What you will see with a lot of guys who are still stuck in that bodybuilding mindset of that's the only way to train is they get into their 40s, they'll train chest on a Monday because chest is always on a Monday, then they maybe skip a few days. They were supposed to do legs but they missed legs, now it's back day and now they're doing back day, and then they've only done 2 sessions per week. They've only done 2 sessions for that week, and they now have an unbalanced program happening to them. right? Because they've trained chest, they've trained back, they missed legs because they had a meeting to go to, and they now have an unbalanced program. They've done zero cardio, but they've trained chest, they've done back, and yeah, that's it. Maybe start the next week and we'll see how it goes. When you're father over 40, you're busy, you have family, you maybe have a business, or you're a manager, you're a CEO, whatever it is you are, and time is an issue, guys. And at any moment you can be called into a meeting, at any moment you can be called to do something for your kid, or do this or do that. The gym will always take a back seat for most people. You've just got to accept that. I've had to accept that as a coach, coaching people over the last 14 years, that training is not always their priority. So I need to come up with a structure, a system, a training program which is going to make sure if they only get to the gym 2 times per week, then they have covered all their bases. They've covered all the bases in those 2 sessions. And even if they don't get back to the gym and have done their 2 sessions, still been great session, really productive. Now that can only come from training full body, having a structured and balanced plan. This full body is probably for about 80% of men that I coach, 80% or higher. There is the guy who I know is going to make it to the gym 5 times per week regardless his lifestyle is set up still to train. I can then start to break it into upper lower splits, some arm days, some cardio days, whatever it is. We have more flexibility to where we can go with the training plan. But for over 80% of men, full body, structured and balanced. If you can get in the gym 2 to 4 times per week, 30 to 60 minutes, brilliant. Now when we start to go into the individual session, one thing I don't have up here, guys, is warm up. You need to do a time efficient and effective warm up. That includes doing more of a dynamic style warm up, moving through all the major muscles, moving through all the major joints, so that when you go into your training session, you're ready. Just walking on a treadmill is not the most effective way to warm up. It's not the most time efficient way to warm up either. That 5 minutes could be spent raising your heart rate, getting the blood flow, getting the joints moving, getting all the major muscles activated. Trust me, in 5 minutes you can do a lot. 5 minutes walking on a treadmill is kind of mind-numbing and pointless nowadays. I would always go for supersets, between 3 to 4 supersets at most. Supersets is a combination. When you're doing full body, best way to set it up is a lower body with an upper body. So you do, let's say, 10 reps, 30-second recovery, 10 reps, 30-second recovery, and you between them. So when these big muscle groups are working, let's say on a squat, we then take the 30-second recovery and we then go into a standing shoulder press. These are resting, these are working, and likewise vice versa. So you can get a really good workout done in less time. So supersets will save you time. They will allow you to work the big muscle groups, as in legs are working, upper body's resting, upper body's working, legs are resting. You should have a combination of machines and free weights for many reasons, guys. Many reasons. 2 major reasons. 1, machines will help you lift more weight because there's more stability. It will allow you to really target the muscle. For example, if I do a chest press machine whether it's plate loaded or pin loaded, I can get, if I'm a beginner, I have more stability and I can really start to build up my strength and really target the muscle within that machine. Now, if I'm a beginner and I go to dumbbells and I'm all over the place and I'm only lifting 6 kg, the challenge to the muscle can sometimes just not be enough because we're too focused on balancing the 2 dumbbells. Now, it's not to say that you can't, but I'm just saying a combination of both, in my opinion and in my experience, is the fastest way to help you build strength, help you build muscle, and improve your overall capabilities within the gym. Okay, because I've seen it with thousands of clients. There's a second reason for this. The second reason is that you can do these supersets. You can do these supersets more easily and set up your training when you combine a machine exercise with a free weight. When you train in a big busy gym, this becomes super important. So within my 90-day burn and build program, for the guys that train in busy gyms, let's say at peak time 5 p.m, I still want them to do a time efficient and effective workout. Sometimes the only way that we can get the supersets done is by combining a machine exercise with a free weight exercise, so like a dumbbell or a barbell, or a body weight with a machine or a piece of equipment like a dumbbell or a barbell or a cable machine, let's say. So that becomes important for this. Do not buy into this bullshit buzzword functional. Oh, I use only kettlebells and TRXs, I am functional. Absolute bullshit, nonsense, made up crap, which will come to this. These 2 things here. You should have a combination of compound is multi-joint movements, like a squat. You're moving through your knees, you're moving through your hips, you actually get movement through the ankle as well. Isolation would be like a leg extension and a hamstring curl. There should be a combination of these within your program. Again, don't buy into the bullshit that you should just have squats and deadlifts in your programs and bench presses. No, we miss out in the smaller muscle groups when we do that, guys. We miss out in those smaller muscle groups. We miss out in certain movements which are needed to give you structure and balance to all the muscles within the body. You should have a combination of movements and muscles. So the way that I look at programs now, guys, is that you should have a squat, okay, working mostly the quads. If I have a squat pattern in my program, a squat movement, I have a hip hinge movement, deadlift style movement to target the hamstrings, right? The combination of this, movements and muscles, always means you're thinking, if I work the quads, I work the hamstrings, right? If I work the chest, the deltoids, the shoulders and the triceps, I now need to have a movement in my program somewhere. It might be program A or program B, where I have a movement which is a horizontal pull. So I have a horizontal push, I have a horizontal pull, which means I'm getting structural balance, structure and balance to the program. These muscles are getting strong, these muscles are getting strong. The quads are getting strong, the hamstrings are getting strong. The biceps are getting worked, the triceps are getting worked. That's why I like a combination of movements and muscles. Because some people think, oh, I'm just going to do squats because they work all the major muscles. They don't. I'm just going to do deadlifts. They don't. Doing an isolated leg extension and an isolated hamstring will work the muscle slightly different. It will strengthen specific muscles differently than what a squat and what a deadlift will, which will then complement your squats and your deadlifts. Cardio. There must be, in my opinion, guys, if you're not doing extra cardio out with the gym, which a lot of guys do not have the time for, a lot of my clients don't have the time for, then there must be an element of cardio in your training from a cardiovascular health point of view. I like interval style because we can get 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, or 15 on, 15 off, and we can blast it within 10 minutes. I also like doing more of a longer blast where we do these 1 to 3k challenges, whether it's on an air bike, whether it's on a runner, even the rower. These can be great cardiovascular challenges. Now, there is a big buzz at the moment around developing your base fitness in terms of your VO2 max, doing zone 2, this long, slow duration work where you could, let's say, go on a jog with your buddy for like 30 to 60 minutes, closer to 60, and you can still talk as you're jogging. That's fucking great if you've got loads of time. Most people don't. And I want people to have good strength, good movements, as well as a bit of cardiovascular fitness as well. Guys, that's the basics of how you train smart over the age of 40.